loyalty to a sweet, sweet mama salute. Now we all come together as well for tomorrow. Now we go make salute.
Yes, family, and welcome back to yet another very important segment where they come through the Talking Point platform. My name is Mohamed Kago, and today is the 16th of November 2021. We get a series of items there, very interesting items there, where we bring count to now. The first thing first, the President Bio Don Swain, the newly approved commissioner for Western area, when Mrs. Umu Zainab Mosire. And secondly, now the program will also discuss the Auditor General unlawful sacking, where according to landed scholars, they all don't point to the reasons, and we're going to highlight some of the reasons that we will feel say make President Bio take this drastic decision for sack this lady. And finally, we see one very sort of like these tasty video they go around the social media where they allege say that the first lady in Peking, the Bluffwood, add currency, pounds, sterling, dollars in huge quantity. What does this mean for we all? And we get the opportunity, when I get the opportunity for sending our comments. And again, don't forget, if you're on YouTube, you go watch this program live. Now, when I stay here quickly, we can for analyze these issues quickly.
Talking Point platform for news every day. Now we country salute for education, entertainment, political affairs. TV. We put enough Tanga one inside Sierra Leone like a big quantity. We breeze not a shit TV.
Yeah, so family, let's start first thing first. Now, if you now remember in this program, we bring this very issue about President Bio appoints a controversial commissioner for Western region. We try to analyze how this thing will play, and we try to bring count to the makeup. We try to give now the past setup of the previous neck body out in town leg and this current one. Now, a lot of people, if you want to check, don't they comment on this very issue, but we don't see the inclusiveness of the main people we get for decide the 2023 elections there. I mean, the commissioners there, different from the previous one. And this is worrying for a lot of commentators there and spectators as well. Now that make we try to analyze for that today. What does this mean? Because if we not check the EU reports, the follow-up reports, they name several institutions, including NEC. They name the police for say some people are not get trust in the police. They name the judiciary, say some people are not get trust in the judiciary. They name PPRC, the Political Party Registration Commission, say some people are not get trust in it, and they even name NEC. This now one of the reasons where people believe say the findings or the follow-up finding of the NEC of the EU was credible, because Salon not to one party gets that country. Salon not to one region get that country. Salon not to one tribe get it. This now we all get Salon, whether you know Limba, Tini, Mende, Loco, we all now we get Salon. Therefore, when it comes to a position, when it comes to setting up certain institutions, then we get the root for cause mayhem in the country, now very sensitive areas, and we feel say we political leaders then get for being mindful of that. Because if you check the previous one when NSB did power, this is not about we are there for praise or supporting you. Don't try for you know the fact, don't not be in a position for analyzing, see why people then still get problem with this kind of makeup. Now, During the term of Christiana Thorpe, after Christiana Thorpe come out, if you check na Creole. Now, when you get the second chief commissioner, when Unfa Ali in Nabitimni, according to what we understand. Now, the Commissioner West, that's this one with President Bio sack, na Miata French, na Creole. You see, these are the previous setup of the previous neck body. The Commissioner East, na Miata, when na Kono. Now you get the Commissioner North, when na Maxude, na Timni. Though you get the Commissioner South, Edmond Alpha, na Mende. Now, during EBK APC time, you see there is some kind of inclusion here. This is, we don't condemn here many times about these two political parties. So let you know, feel like particularly them party picking away, probably some of them then go watch, you go feel on time you care for can defend XY party. No, what they don't bring forward the facts. This now facts. We see the setup. The previous neck body was inclusive. You get what? Timni Day, you get Creole Day, you get Mende Day, you get Limba Day. These are the commissioners, and these are very important. Then they make or break election. But if you look, the setup was inclusive. Now, take a look at President Bio in commission where he sets. Now, when he said this one, the neck boss, when I'm Mohamed Kone, na Mendi. The South Commissioner, where na Admon Alpha, na Mendi. The North Commissioner, when are they acting Alpha Monde, na Mendi. The Northeast Commissioner, na Mendi. Though you get the East Commissioner, when I'm Marian Sia Inuma Moije, na Mendi. On this particular one, Zainab Mosire, it gets linkage and people and say na a strong supporter of SLPP. Some people say na Limba, some people say married to Mende, but that one is questionable. So, and we know it's very funny because not to one tribe in the country, like say that this particular tribe, na inland pass all the other tribe. Therefore, when you come to sensitive position like this, we give them. This is completely wrong. We don't want to let this team be sort of like political favor by being that if I put you here, this knife will do for me. And it tell on what the integrity of the NEC itself. And we all know what's happening. We all know the recommendation where the TRCB recommend regarding election, regarding the way political interference in institutions, and it's very bad. And this is one area where we want to let them pay attention. We know they say those people over there appoint, then go for rig or then go for try for bend the rule for the current government. But for the fact that they even to line 4 of the commissioners are Mendes, it sent a wrong picture. Because President Bio is not the president for one political party or for one tribe. He's the president of all Sierra Leoneans. And when it comes to a very sensitive institution like NEC, I feel say inclusiveness will send some kind of sort of like sanity for let people and say, oh yeah, this Alice is incredible. But if they do now, I mean, bang bao day, you know, like it come publicly. I mean, people and they read between the lines. We're not trying for accuse them, but I mean, any reasonable person with this kind of setup, I just read for now. So you must therefore get a second thoughts. But with the open press, these people, we don't swear in to the constitution, say they will serve Mama Salome, then will serve Mama Salome and not the president. So today, finally, despite opposition, despite cry for political parties, some political parties, the APC, C4C and others, finally, President Bio don't swear in. Let's take a look on this swearing ceremony quickly.
Excellency the President, it's now my pleasure to invite the Executive President for the administration of the oath of office.
Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, pursuant to Section 32(3) of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, Act Number 6 of 1991, Your Excellency on the 7th of July advised the appointment of Zainab Musir as Electoral Commissioner of Western Area of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Following that announcement, I'm pleased to inform Your Excellency that Parliament interviewed Zainab Musir on the 28th of October this year, approved the appointment of Zainab Musir as Electoral Commissioner of Western Area of the Republic of Sierra Leone. Having been approved by Parliament, Section 32(6) of the Constitution of Sierra Leone provides that a member of the Electoral Commission shall, before assuming the functions of his or her office, take and subscribe before the President the oath set out in the trust of the prescribed oath.
Electoral Commission of Western Area
Of the Republic of Sierra Leone.
of the Republic of
God, the oath in your hand, you take the Bible in your hand. Recite after me. I do hereby in the name of God swear that I will faithfully and truly discharge the duties of the Electoral Commission of Western Area
of Western Area
of the Republic of Sierra Leone,
that
I will support
and that I will support, uphold,
and maintain the Constitution of Sierra Leone
and maintain the Constitution of Sierra Leone
as the law established.
as by law established.
So help me God.
So help me God.
You sign the oath before His Excellency the President, and then you will sign. We will proceed with the rest of the program by asking Madam Zainab Musir to take a statement. So please listen.
Your Excellency, I thank God Almighty for this day and for the opportunity to serve a beloved nation, Sierra Leone. I am what I am and where I am today because of the grace of God. It is indeed an honor to be appointed to serve in such a distinguished capacity. I do not take it lightly. Mr. President, thank you for reposing this special trust and confidence in me, for appointing me to serve as Electoral Commissioner of Western Region. With God's help, I promise to dispense my duties with diligence and excellence, guided by the fear of God and love for our country, Sierra Leone. Thank you. God bless you, Mr. President, and God bless our son.
Okay, family, that was the newly sworn commissioner for Western Area, we Zainab Musir. We wish her good luck The thing what they say here is people in watch. And based on the setup we don't explain to now, so now these are some of the things that people see. This was something where the president for the avert. But anyway, see alone people there, they know wise up. Will they still the watch? It's okay. Now, 2023 they come, we'll move forward. Now let's look at the other thing where don't they make rounds on the social media. The deliberate sacking of the most trusted public servant, Lara Pierce Taylor. Over 30 years, people they don't respect this lady. He don't do in work. Previous governments then report in, report out, report in, report out. But again, why you feel say this body important, the Auditor General's body important? Now, because just like if you do any business, you need accountability. I don't know why we leaders then afraid accountability, or then afraid for let somebody be on you. That I feel say probably Salon, we are missing a big step. We are going down the drain. Probably Salon now like we kill institutions there. Because when you talk about democracy, you talk about institutions. And the institutions are not an ordinary institution. They ask to be independent. They ask to function for the interests of the ordinary people. They ask to function for the interests of the states. And institution has to be completely free from political interference. But what would they see? So rights and lefts, we don't begin the afraid. If you report, mention 4 body them, 4 institutions there, where Salon people, they lost faith in. They lost faith in. Now, NEC, what we just don't talk about, how you go get 5 commissioners, 4 of them now from one tribe? How you go get commissioners, all of them now from one tribe? If this not call an alarm, if this not call an alarm, if this not give you the mind for let you think, then I don't say any other thing they again wait for think about. How a commission go there, then select out of how many tribes they will get at the country? We get Boko. Look at the previous setup where it was inclusive. You get Kriode, you get Mendede, you get Timni, you get Limba. But this particular commission, NEC body, you get the 5 people there where they set up like the core, where get very strong authorities. You find out say 4 of these people are from one tribe. Secondly, we come to this Auditor General reports where don't cause problem. According to Ugafoka, analyze some of the reasons and where we feel say, and where Africanist press also point out why Marabio decide for fire or for suspend Pierce Taylor, regardless of whether it's constitutional or not. If we institutions are not, if the institutions are not independent, then we have no business in practicing the democracy. We have no business in even conducting election, because we are just wasting resources, wasting precious time, because you know they work. So the reasons why, look at what happened in America. If it be not left to Donald Trump, if we don't use in power for make it stay in power. But because of America, then get a very strong institution, they fight for democracy. At the end of the day, Donald Trump has no choice but for left it. This is one reason why we therefore allow institutions for be independent. Because at the last resort, the institutions there, if any political leader, a president want to become a tyrant, the institutions are the only one that will be able to protect the state, protect the constitution. Let me take few texts away come out from different people. Now we get this one they come out. We get this one. Yeah, yes, Paul. We already don't correct that. Say it's suspended. Nobody knows say the second. We say it's suspended. We get this already come out from. Okay, this one come up from Khadija Kamara. Say my brother, they have already sacked her. Now you get another already come up from Paul Now, we say, now I see tribalism in a reportage. It's okay. This is what we're saying. If we explain things in that way, yes, some people and still, okay, then they will see with their eyes. Some man get eye, but you still blind, they see. Some man get ears, but still in the hearing. Some man get mouth, but still in the talk, because political, I mean, bondage, they inside political bondage. It take us say political party big pass in country. Even if you see the truth, if you're blinded, it's okay, good. Now you get another one where they come out from another they come out from okay, this we will not go able to read to text after we don't read these ones, we'll continue, we'll go read the other one as time we progress. So what will the time for talk here? If we institutions and they're not independent, we see they interfere. Now, one of the reasons why people are angry about this, because according to Section 119 of the Constitution of Sierra Leone, the procedure for remove the Auditor General must be the same as that required for removal of judge of the Superior Court of Judicature, other than the Chief Justice from office. So this is what the Section 1374 says. Now, allow read and follow now carefully. Subject to the provisions of this section, a judge of the Superior Court of Judicature may be removed from office only for inability to perform the functions of his office, whether arising from infirmity or body or mind or statement misconduct, and shall not be so removed save in accordance with the provision of this section. That is one. Okay, it moved down. The same clause will give the power where they define how them for suspend or sack the Auditor General, and they go so. Now, second, if the Judicial and the Legal Service Commission represents to the President that the question of removing a judge of the Superior Court of Judicature and other Chief Justice under subsection 4 ought to be investigated. Then the President, acting in consultation of the Judicial and Legal Service Commission, shall appoint a tribunal which shall consist of chairman and 2 other members, of all whom shall be person qualified to hold or have held office as Justice of the Supreme Court. Now, you can look at this particular clause where don't go deeply for explain the manner in which a president for suspend or even sack the Auditor General is very similar to a Supreme Court judge. And we see this procedure that the president said, then we investigate, then we set up a tribunal, just like what's the Constitution said. But with no reason, people begin to speculate why, when he left to few weeks of releasing a damning report, the president take upon himself, it decide, regardless of whether it's constitutional or not, for suspend one of the most trusted public servant in the country. This is not about what I say. This is about what Sierra Leoneans feel. If you ask Sierra Leoneans, among the state institutions, they don't like the Mami or the 8th police or the 8th PPRC. But this is what people have been seeing. This is what people feel like, that this particular institution, audit service, has been impartial. They have been doing their work diligently. They have been at least serving Sierra Leone. And mind you, the audit service, they answerable to whom? To the parliament, not even to the president. We don't see the president get, but this is just similar to waiting back then where Anes Koroma do, where sack the then Vice President Sam Sumana unconstitutionally. The same thing happened now where we see Madabio, they suspend this lady unconstitutionally because of what? Now, according to Africanist press, let me see if we were able to bring Cantona something where African press they release now. Lab make some of them are able to watch a lab bring Cantona, don't see completely the reason where one moment, all right. I'll bring this one for now. Long as I can look. Okay, all right. I don't see it. Okay. Now, okay. All right. Now you see this now from Africanist Press. La release and small on a C. You see, coming from Cheraba, he analyzed one of the reason where, according to Africanist Press, will make the president decide for suspend the two leading audit officials. Now, as a result of very serious irregularities when it comes to receipts, the pa, the mommy, the unlimited travel. The last time we even spoke about that here, in 40 days, the president traveled to more than 7 countries. To more than 7 countries. To more than 7 countries. What is the excuse? And what is the president cut for we in return? We know you say nothing. Pass salon, we name be done bad. So now that made the president's need for go now then consider go tell people and say salon, we name done good now, we don't get new leaders. So look at the reason. Now the figures over there, it's too much. It's too much for him. But now we just take small. Now, if you check, the audit official reportedly discovered that the president in office submitted several forged documents. When I see the reason, the office of the Auditor General discovered, say, the president then submit forged documents, including fake hotel receipts and invoice. And to the auditors, as auditor serving as part of the president in travel, in per diem expenditure for the year 2020. And mind you, this is not just an ordinary person. This is not just an ordinary person, I repeat. This, now a lady, we don't they do this work for more than 30 years. So not to say it just gap here, not to say it ate Marabi or ate SLPP. It did the same thing when APC was in power. In fact, now they reporting themselves the SLPP used for campaign against the then APC when they in power. The Auditor General, even the Ebola fund was also part of that where they use. And now the COVID money, you remember when even the one talk about they say the president, the Attorney General instructed men not check anything because the country, they're on state of emergency. The president be don't clear 1 year state of emergency. So therefore, not to the term for audits, Nandi. And that one they did. You know, we able to get nothing from millions of dollars can inside salon for feds COVID. We don't know. Just like when millions of dollars become for feds Ebola. Yeah, we don't fool anymore. We want to know accountability, transparency. If you then give you work, you need for report to your boss. You need for, if you don't get nothing for high, make things clear. But if salon people and give you job, though it's no one let them check you, how you use them resources, then this is, I mean, it's funny, it's laughable. Now, now we'll continue. Some of the reasons then where Africanist press why make the suspend this lady. One, again, yeah, the forgery. Now the president, some of them reports here, and then fake invoices. Yeah, the office denying them rejected because they feel say right according to them, and they even go ahead and say the submitted receipts and the invoice include alleged payments in various amounts ranging from $50,000 to $75,000 to $120,000, and this paid in South Africa, Lebanon, Ghana, United Kingdom, Ethiopia. You see, the Auditor General report presented the invoice, and then a look and try for verify which of the hotel issued this. And all of these hotels say what they say, deny, say they know. You see, when they present their receipt here to the president, I mean to the Auditor General, when the office of the president don't collate the invoice, the travel from different part of the world, then the auditor then try for verify to the hotel and they where the president don't go lodge. Then deny issue those kind of receipts. $50,000, $120,000 receipts. This is how they talk. the president in the excessive travel, now burden to Salon. It's okay when the president comes in power for the first 1 year. It's okay for let travel, at least let meet, let get acquaintance with company there. But you have foreign ministers, you have ministers, you have ambassadors, you have commissioners in those countries. I feel say, if you elect them, I mean, if you appoint them now because you trust them, so allow them and do their job. It look like the other way at Salon people, well, at a lot of people, like the presidents go to Dubai on, I mean, sort of like, what was the reason of the president going when we get a foreign minister, we get a culture minister of tourism? I mean, these are the role of this most minister, not the president at that age and level. How many presidents go that silently? Now, they forge receipts there. According to Africanist Press, where they submit to the Auditor General, the Auditor General refused to accept their receipts here. They said, no, I know they accept there because then go ask the hotel there where they say then go, the president then go spend their money there. When I get the money there, we don't talk about 50,000, 75, these are billions of leons there. What they call so billions of leons there. Fearful. Now, the money small now per dollar, $50,000 and like 500 billion leons. You can imagine that. Look, so let's move a little bit down. So apart from the falsified hotel receipts, the auditor also questioned the amount and the procedure used to withdraw the per diem. See what they talk? The per diem. And the other funds of the president delegation, including cash withdrawal for alleged medical expenses in Lebanon in August 2020. You see the reason why this report 2020 report is damning for the president, it's damning for the party, it's damning for the government. So they sit down and look at the whole thing, noting this man will let go because the last time we threaten now, we intimidate her, we do her, we cause her, this let go. Now we move along again. Some of the reason we make, according to Africanist Press, why make President Bio decide for suspend? Okay, now in the case of the Lebanon tree, the auditor found out say the president in office no reports the total amount of money that we withdraw from Bank of Sam. They don't even report. I mean, this is painful, it disgustful, it heart-rending when the people and they suffer. Basic necessities of life are not there. And when they see people will entrust with their lives, with the state resources, then trust the taker with no regard, with no respect. I mean, there's one clip where they go around on the social media where they are, let's say, the first lady in Boy Peking, the Blufffoot, different hard currency. Some of them don't watch this video. Let me just play and on ourselves see exactly. So if these allegations that they're made by Africanist Press are true, and we see one of the member of the family, they display this provocation to the highest level. Take a look at on this.
In the phone, I'm a laid back rapper. I don't get many. In the room, I made a head spin. Shout out her on the brethren. Young nigga paid off the trap. I lost a lot of dough and I'm just trying to get it back. Told the cat only cool. Stop texting the phone. I'm a laid back rapper. I don't get many.
Okay, family, that was this video don't make run at the social media, and people are all man say, some man say editor, some man say nah. But when we look at, we never verify your authenticity, but let me just assume if this is true, this is really a serious problem. A serious problem. Now, let me continue move down on this. Now, the expenditure document where the president in office submit who claims the president withdraw only 125,000 from the local overseas travel account in 2020 for medical expenses in Lebanon. However, for the year 2020 statement of the president in travel account show that the president and his wife, Fatima Bio, withdraw more than 10 billion leons. More than 10 billion leons, that is $1 million, according to Africanist Press. Of course, everybody with the social media, you can access Africanist Press. This not something where they make up. You get it clearly. $10 billion, with $1 million for the Lebanon trip, where they say, first, what did they submit? They say now $125,000. But according to the statement, where Africanist press gets that 10 billion euros with $1 million for the Lebanon trip when August 2020. Now the bank records show that between August 26 and September 30 alone, the president withdraw a cumulative of 10,117,531,840 loans with over $1 million from the local and overseas travel account for the supposed emergency trip to Lebanon. The amount in question compromised when you check what the official receipts given and waiting this in not tally anyway. Now again, then check say more than 7,586,450,552,000. That is over 785,000 allegedly spent on fees paid to a private air charter. This sign and pay for plane. I mean, we don't talk this sort of thing many times. Say, God not give you Soriat leaders it. Whether you believe this or not, but God not give you Soriat leaders it. Now we continue a little bit more on this. Now, this now the chartered private alleged payment for the president in medical bill and daily subsistence allowance. For the First Lady, Fatima Bio, and other members of the delegation, the auditor questioned the reason why I made them suspend this lady. A question. Now, this was the time they tell the president first in Lebanon, he go on medical trip. Okay. But later, now social media, we see the First Lady, they snap like they honeymoon. You understand? He did a yacht with beautiful pictures of the sea, or I mean, we see pictures of a delegation, people, I mean, like merriment, a party was being thrown, you know, somebody would say, go many self. We'll move a little bit from what in Africanist press found out. Now, again, the presidency office provided no document, see, showing evidence of payment of the medical expenses. You know, document not there. So then we want let this woman forget about this. The woman not compromise. I mean, we know salon people, we are not accustomed, even though we get GST, we're not accustomed to receipts. Salon people, they will not believe receipts. This, it ain't we. Past maybe travel abroad, now you know receipt value. But we in a salon, we buy something, you know, they ask for receipts, even though they be on try for enforcer. So it starts from the top. The president refused to provide evidence for support in medical bill. Is it not there? Is it not there? Receipt not there? Receipt not there? Now move a little bit down. Again, receipt not there for provide this one. The presidency office also provide show no evidence of the payment of medical. The officials in the president's office we are also unable to justify the discrepancy between $125,000 amount they submitted in the withdrawal document and the amount in the bank statement, showing that over $500,000 cash was taken out in the cash by the president for medical expenses ahead of the Lebanon trip. You see, more than $500,000 was taken by the president, but waiting then submit now $125,000, and the auditor asked, try for see the discrepancy, the differences, you know, oh no, 125,000 to 500,000 is far. So there was no evidence to support this particular claim. See, the president only used 125,000, and when there are evidence to show that the president withdraw more than $500,000 for the Lebanon trip alone. Salon will not get good leader in it too. If we feel say we better one, we suffer and it is far for so. It is far for so. Now move a little bit down back. Okay. The management queries to the office of the president also question the indiscriminate cash withdrawals, often in foreign currency, carried out in the name of the president and his wife between 10 January 2020 and 11 December 2020. The auditors then find out, say, 7 specific large cash withdrawals, okay, that were carried out in the name of Mother Bio, all totaling 1,847,601,064 when I like $180,000. This specific transaction included 2 withdrawals on January 2020 when at $322,833,000, when I like $32,000 to $71,313,453, over $7,000 for the First Lady while accompanying the president on the trip to the UK. And for the amount of $27,000 was also withdrawn on January 2020, for God's sake. When I see the money, this is not the reason we make the president and in team, I feel say in the wisdom, they know say if this report come out, it will be danger for them. The president in travel was excess. It was excess. Even the people who they support the president, that's a them gumble now say, no, yes, now the right for let the president travel, but this is too much. This is too much. This is too much. Now we'll take some few text here. This one they come from Abdul Jalal. We say we need a man like the late Magufuli of Tanzania to rule Sierra Leone. Yeah, these are the thing. Magufuli, it took over Tanzania. It traveled only maybe like 1 or 2 times. But within that short period, when they asked her, he said, no, we don't need for travel. Why I need for travel? Where I get minister, where I get foreign dignitaries there, we get ambassadors there, we get commissioners there. Why for travel? Magufuli, they even use commercial flights. If you want to commercial flights, but we country you not get money. But president they hire chartered a private jet for comfort. Oh God, oh God, what do we do now? This one they come from Khadija Kamara. We say, but the man don't talk, say, make Salon pray for good leader. Yeah. Now we all the pray for. This one they come up from Paul Nabi. So what's wrong with the young man displaying money? Okay. This is what we are saying. Okay. If you are a politician, okay, you're ruling the people and some kind of a huge amount of money is being missing or being questioned, and we are saying your siblings are displaying it, this is an insult. If you don't see anything wrong in this, where Salon people are where they suffer, they see something wrong in this. Now your opinion, okay, we know they try for change anyway. You have right to your opinion, but again, we just try for look at the entire thing, say ethical. Now this is coming from Bob Sintu, where we say, I will continue to tell the international community that President Bio is just trying to become rich and his family, but has no development plans for Sierra Leone. Okay. All right. So let's move on. These are some of the texts that we'll get time for right now. So again, let's move on. According to Africanist Press, again, the president on the 10th of January 2020 alone, the aggregated cash withdrawal by the president and his wife amounted to $2,019,912,000, with like $200,000, according to the auditors. So the auditor demanded evidence of the expenses for the said funds. The auditor asked, okay, it's okay, because the auditor in job not to witch hunts. Before even they can visit you, according to standard practice, they send you a letter, inform you that they can audit you XYZ. We need XYZ. I mean, look how it is simple, but look how, like We just don't get respect for institutions. Before they can, or not, they just can't take you unawares. No, they will never do that. Sorry. They will never do that. The auditor, they send a letter informing you on so date, say they get for car monitor now, they get for car audit now, then tell now what kind of document they will be asking for, what kind of document they will be looking for. So they don't guide you. But yet still, even when they don't give them this time, they're still not able to produce evidence of the president in travel and expenses. And a part of the auditor also, when he asks you for receipts, you not get, it show you how they go about getting the receipts. Let you see no more. They show you some of the way they, when I will bring that this, unless there's something not justifiable in evidence. This is something that now, where then they look at, if you don't get any evidence or you falsify or you forge, then definitely they're not stupid. They're not going to just take up because you don't count paper. Okay. Now let's move a little bit down. Okay. Now, in addition to the financial irregularity, the auditors then also found that the wife of the president, First Lady, okay, did not comply with the procurement procedures when dispensing funds allocated to our office in 2021. This is where politicians are making money. Procurement. When they award contract, we get the National Procurement Act, a law where they don't pass will for follow, but this is where politicians are making their money. So that is why they are not following the national procurement procedure. No, they don't do it because they want to give the contract to them pursue when I kick back. I go take me bobo, open for a small shop, I put on there. When we get a contract, now they go buy. The money they come back to me. See how smart. I mean, yeah, we're looking at it like they're smart, but these are the now so they insult Sierra Leoneans' intelligence. Like, say we don't understand. Most of the procurement, they know they go. I mean, when you want to buy something, why they set up the procurement? For now, we get the best value of money. Let competition be. Let somebody say, okay, I'll go do this work for 10,000. Another person say, I'll go do this work for 15,000. Another person say, I'll go do this for 20,000. With the same quality, they look at if these people all can do the job with the same quality, we will take the 10,000 because on the same quality. This man charge 15, this man charge 20, this man charge 10. But based on what you don't see, this man, that is our standard, the standard day for procurement. We give the person to give you the best value of the money. But in Sierra Leone, with politicians, and this not the area they way, not in the old. They create small shop there, small office there. Whenever they get a contract, those office will be benefit. So now kick back the money, they come back to them. So again, this is very long. The detailed report on this, the reason why they decided to suspend this lady and in deputy Iboku. So we will postpone her, okay, in the next segment, we will bring a camp. We don't make and say we go team up very, very hard. Civil society, we know they call them because they keep quiet. Remember where small sort of issue happen with the mayor or something like that. They will see the civil society, they all come out, they make noise, they even write. This is not the fight this. Because if this last institution we will respect, not get independent, can be intimidated, can be just trampled upon, so then I think we head for disaster. I think we head for disaster. The police has been compromised. The PPRC have been compromised. The judiciary have been compromised. NEC has been compromised. Based on what we don't see, so not to me say the EU report. And they not mention the Auditor General's office. So if this very institution would on left, we see it is under fire. Me and you two know the talk. We say because me na Timni, or me na Limba, or me na Mende, or me na APC, me na SLPP. You know they do yourself for. They do the future generation. Because, I mean, we don't suffer done now. We don't suffer done. But what about the next people when they come? You pick in there, then pick in there. Now they can't contribute. So you go feel fine from it and can inherit this pain. Why people in they run for common and country? Because we feel say we leaders so don't fail we. The only option don't left for the ordinary man now for travel abroad. Now the only option. So what about the one that will not get opportunity for travel? You picking a family, then they suffer. Yet some people, because of them blind in their support, they know they see nothing. Anyhow, you then try to justify anything. Even if they see the reality, then they find other name than color. So Fabula will tap the program here, and hopefully again we'll come on Thursday with another very important segment on this variant. We'll continue for explain to know the reason then we make the president continue, the president decide for suspend the Auditor General when Mrs. Lara Taylor Pierce. So until then, my name is Mohamed Kago. We will meet back.
Oh, yeah.